And just like that, I am back. Hello to the couple of people that are still listening. I appreciate it. This is episode 3 of my Calling It All Back podcast, where I am breaking down snippets of tracks from my comedy album of the same name. If you're new to the podcast, you can go to my YouTube page and click on podcast playlist, Calling It All Back, and you can hear the other 2 episodes that I've already recorded. I will appreciate your support as well. The music that you're hearing in the background at the beginning and end of each of these episodes is a track called Daydream by Smokey Smothers. That was a track she made a couple years ago, and I thought, you know what, sounds pretty good to go with my podcast. So now that I got that all out the way, I'm going to go ahead and kick episode 3 off with track number 21, which is called Red Stoplight. So I'm going to play a snippet of that track, and then I'll be back to do a quick breakdown of Red Stoplight. So here we go, Red Stoplight.
At a red stoplight, just kind of chilling in the backseat of my Kia. To the left of me, there is this older Caucasian lady eyeing me up in pure disgust. I'm talking just... All I can think is, oh, this older Caucasian lady doesn't like my beautiful black skin? Well, that's your loss, older Caucasian lady. We could have been watching Murder, She Wrote. Light turns green. I look in the mirror to admire my beautiful black skin, and I notice I got a big old black booger. True story, Brick House. I am not lying. Just chilling. Black booger, just we belong together chilling. Like, yeah. I felt like an idiot. I misjudged that lady. I like to think we both learned some valuable lessons from that interaction. On my end, as they say, not to judge a book by its cover. And I think she's learned 2 valuable lessons. One is not to judge a booger by its color. And all black booger lives matter. See, that's...
All right, that is track number 21, Red Stoplight. And I guess before I get to the quick breakdown of that track, I just want to point out that I did do a callback from Murder, She Wrote. If you hear me say we could have been watching Murder, She Wrote, that is a callback from my joke of 2 of my favorite shows. Another callback I did on there is when I kind of say I was just chilling in the backseat of my Kia. If you listen to the full 347,000 miles track, I talk about me being too tall, and I drive from the backseat of my Kia. So that is another callback. All right, now let's get to the breakdown of Red Stoplight. That joke comes from a true place. That did happen. I was at a red stoplight, and there was an older Caucasian lady in the lane next to me, just kind of eyeing me up in pure disgust. And all I could think is, oh, this lady doesn't like my beautiful black skin, or this older Caucasian lady doesn't like my beautiful black skin. So I definitely was feeling a certain kind of way, so light turns green, and like I said, I look in the mirror, and all I could see was a big old black booger. So now I see why the lady was eyeing me up in pure disgust, because the booger wasn't pretty. And then, I just kind of wrote the joke, went to the, we've all heard that term, not to judge a book by its cover, so I kind of threw that in there. And then I just wanted to kind of flip it around with the booger, you know what I mean? Not to judge a booger by its color. And all black booger lives matter, which is kind of a little bit of the current events and stuff that was going on at the time. So that is basically the breakdown of the joke Red Stoplight. I hope you guys go back and check out that full track. We're going to keep this going, and I'm going to play the next track is going to be number 22, which is called Basketball in Sandwiches. So I'm going to cue that up, and then I'll come back and do a quick breakdown of Basketball and Sandwiches.
Last time I was at the doctor, as the nurse is checking my eyes, she goes, I bet you're pretty good at basketball. Here's the thing, I don't mind stereotypes, we all have them. My only issue was it was 6 a.m. in the morning. That's too early to go right into a stereotype. Gotta give me a cup of coffee, maybe offer me a donut, say good morning, put on a ski mask, offer me a gold necklace, do something. Now, she was a bigger girl, so my response was, good morning. I bet you're pretty good at making sandwiches.
All right, that is Basketball and Sandwiches, and I guess to before I get to the breakdown of that joke, there's another callback that I did for this joke when I talk about she could at least 6 a.m. in the morning give me a gold necklace. That actually is a callback from me being world famous. I only played a snippet of that joke, but if you go listen to that full joke, I talk about where I was sleeping in the grocery store parking lot. Some guy was knocking on my window at 6 a.m. trying to sell me a gold necklace. So that's where the 6 a.m. at the doctor's appointment, and she could offer me a gold necklace. And I talk about the guy having a ski mask on trying to sell me a gold necklace. So that's all a callback that comes from that track, World Famous. If you get a chance, go listen to that full track. And that is the breakdown, or that is a callback, I should say. And I guess the breakdown of basketball and sandwiches, part of that joke is true because as that nurse was giving me a physical, she did just kind of, I bet you're pretty good at basketball. And you know what? Like I said, I don't mind stereotypes. She was probably just trying to make small talk, but it was a little early in the morning to go right into the stereotype. You kind of got to ease into a stereotype. You don't want to just go right into it. You got to kind of soften things up, and she was a bigger girl. And I bet she could make some pretty good sandwiches. And I'm a skinny guy, I could use some sandwiches. I didn't say that, obviously, so that part of the joke is exaggerated, but the first part of the joke is true. She was a bigger girl, and she did ask me if I was she did say, I bet you're pretty good at basketball. So that is basically the breakdown of the track, basketball, and sandwiches. I'm going to keep this going. I'm going to play the next track, which is number 23, which is Hyperhidrosis. So here's a snippet of Hyperhidrosis, and I'll come back and do a breakdown of that track.
What I have is hyperhidrosis, and I mainly have it on my hands, which means I can't palm a basketball, can't grip a football, my text messages be sweaty. No holding hands, ladies. On the bright side, you'll never have to lick a stamp or envelope again.
All right, that was Hyperhidrosis, and that joke comes from a true place as well. I do have very sweaty hands. I like to say I have the world's sweatiest hands. And I kind of like the part about me talking about my text messages be sweaty. I think that's just a funny visual joke. But I do have very sweaty hands. I can remember as a kid when we used to play football in the neighborhood, I would wear sandwich bags on my hands for some reason. I don't know. I guess like that would help me grip a football better. But yeah, that joke comes from a true place. I really do have the world's sweatiest hands. I'm trying to think of anything else about that joke. Well, there's more to that joke. If you get a chance, I hope you listen to the full track of that, because there's some callbacks in that joke as well. And what do I talk about? I talk about licking a stamp and envelope. Yeah, ladies, just think though. I'm a catch. You won't have to ever lick a stamp or envelope. I got you covered. I got you. You got nothing to worry about. So that is the breakdown of the track Hyperhidrosis. I'm going to keep this going, and the next track that I'm going to play a snippet of is H. Pylori, and then I will come back and do a quick breakdown of H. Pylori. So here we go. H. Pylori.
On a serious note, I did have this infection in my stomach called H. Pylori. Basically what that is a bacteria that builds up, causes ulcers, makes your stomach very uncomfortable. So I went to the doctor, and they put me on antibiotics for 2 weeks, and I had to wait a week and drop a stool sample. Oh, I was excited. First time dropping a stool sample. Boy, I was in there, excited, shirt off, dirty underwear showing, gold necklace swinging. I'm like, how much you need, nurse? She's like, settle down, sir, and put your shirt back on and put your pants up. You're way too excited. I only needed quarters worth. I dropped enough for her to wash and dry 3 loads of laundry.
All right, that is track number 24, H. Pylori. And I guess before I do the quick breakdown of that track, I do got to point out another callback when I say that I was in there with my gold necklace on. That is a callback, obviously, from World Famous. Where I was, the guy tried to offer me a gold necklace in the grocery store parking lot. So that is a callback. All right, the breakdown of H. Pylori. That joke comes from a true place as well. I did have this infection in my stomach, which is H. Pylori. Like I was saying in the joke, is a bacteria that builds up. It causes ulcers, makes your stomach very uncomfortable. And I was at the doctor. I was a little excited to drop a stool sample because I had never dropped a stool sample before. So I was very excited about that. I'm like, nurse, I got what you need. How much much do you need? And I think it was funny that I kind of correlated with, she's like, I only need a quarter's worth, and I dropped enough for her to wash and dry 3 loads of laundry, because obviously you need quarters for laundry, so blah, 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 blah. That is the breakdown of that joke. There's a lot more to that joke if you listen to the full track. But like I said, that joke does come from a true place. I appreciate you people that you're still listening right now. Like I said, this is all over the place. I'm just kind of having fun with it. We're going to keep it going. And the next track that I'm going to play for you is called Amber Alert. That is track number 25. So here is Amber Alert, and I will come back and I will do a breakdown of that track.
Last time I ate at Subway, well, I didn't even get a chance to order, because as I walked in, this lady covers up her baby as if I was there to steal it. So apparently this lady thought I was there for a sub and her baby. I'm looking at her like, you got me mistaken. I was looking at her purse like, yeah, she had an ATM receipt hanging out. Like, you got some money too. Oh. And plus, what am I going to do with a redhead baby, Brickhouse? That's not going to work out. That's the 8th time I'll be getting pulled over.
All right, that is track number 25, Amber Alert. And basically that track is me talking about Subway, as you heard. And that joke comes from a true place as well, because that did happen. I forget where I was at when that happened. I don't know if it was in Iowa or it might have been I think it was in Wisconsin. It was a few years ago when it happened, but that was true. Lady, as I walked in, she did cover up her baby like as if I was there to steal it. I'm talking about she covered it up like a football player covering up a fumble. You know what I mean? It was like, and the baby was redhead. And I'm thinking, what am I going to do with a redhead baby? I barely have enough money to pay for the sub. But so that joke comes from a true place. And she did have a little bit of money hanging out of her purse. No, I'm just kidding. She didn't really, but she might have had some money, you know, like I could use some money, lady. I need some help to pay for this sub. I got nothing to do. I can't do nothing with a baby. That's nothing. And the reason why I call the track Amber Alert is because, if you get a chance and listen to the full track, I talk about what if I did take the redhead baby, right? You would see me in the backseat of my Kia with a redhead baby. That's an Amber Alert waiting to happen. So that's where the Amber Alert comes in. That's why the name of the track is Amber Alert. So if you get a chance, hopefully you go back and you listen to the full track. But that did happen. That is a true story that happened at a Subway. I forget if it was Iowa or Wisconsin, as I like to say. It was one of those. A joke kind of happened quite a few years ago. Sometimes it just takes a minute for you to write the joke to kind of get it to where you want it. So that is the breakdown of Amber Alert. I am going to keep this going. The next track that I am going to play a snippet of is number 27, which is On the Road. So here's On the Road, and I'll come back and do a quick breakdown of that track.
One thing I see a lot of on the road that makes me mad is hitchhikers with dogs. Oh, I can't stand to see hitchhikers with dogs. Anybody else? Man, I always want to pull over and grab the dog and take off. I did that one time. I pulled over, grabbed the dog. It was a little dog, too. I was like, come here, little buddy. Yeah, get in the back seat. He jumped in the back seat, jumped in the front seat. Look at you. Aren't you special? I'm going to need you to blow into the breathalyzer. You're looking at Cheetos things.
All right, that is track number 27, On the Road. And I guess that joke right there, it's kind of I kind of exaggerated that joke. But the one thing I will say is I do see a lot of like hitchhikers on the road with dogs. I don't even know if they're hitchhikers. Some people just be kind of chilling on the side of the road, you know, with a dog, though. They always have the dog with them, and it just kind of makes me mad. It's like, man, if you barely have anything to eat, why you got the dog with you? Like, let the dog go to a good home, you know. But who am I to judge? As they say, what is it? A dog's a man's best friend, you know. But I do see that a lot on the road, and I always do want to pull over and grab the dog, though. I do. I mean, I exaggerated that part. Obviously, I didn't pull over and grab the dog and throw him in the back seat. And then as far as the part of the joke when I talk about having a dog blow into the breathalyzer, like if you go back, that's a callback actually from 347,000 miles, because I talk about me having a breathalyzer in my Kia. I talk about me blowing weed into the breathalyzer, so, you know, and it's Cheeto stains, because I talk about Cheeto stains because I had the munchies from blowing weed into the breathalyzer. So if you go back and listen to 347,000 miles, you will understand that the callback that I did on track 27, On the Road, it kind of goes goes back to that. And that's pretty much the breakdown of that track on the road. I am going to keep this going. The next track that I'm going to play is number 28, and that's called Starting My Own Petition. And then I will come back and do a quick breakdown of Starting My Own Petition. So here we go, Starting My Own Petition.
There's this website out there called change.org. And basically what it is a website where you can start your own petition, send it off to get signatures. I thought about starting my own petition. Tell me if you guys would sign it. My petition is for them to put plungers in all motel bathrooms. They got Bibles. I don't care how much you pray. When that toilet stopped up, God's like, hey, I got nothing for you.
All right, that is track number 28, Starting My Own Petition. And the way that joke kind of came about is I was because I signed up for some reason for change.org. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but basically that's a website where you can start your own petition. You can send it off to get signatures. So I started kind of getting different emails and petitions that people wanted me to sign. And I thought, you know what? I want to start my own petition because I stay in a lot of hotels. And I would say, if I had to give a percentage, I would say about 75% of the ones, actually it's probably like 90% of the ones that I stay in, they don't have plungers in the bathrooms. Like a lot of them have Bibles, but they don't have plungers. And it's like, I'm sorry. I mean, I understand having a Bible, but when that toilet stopped up, there's nothing that Bible's going to be able to help you with. God's like, I got nothing for you, as I say in the joke. So that's why I say, I think I would start my own petition, to put plungers in every motel bathroom. And it reminds me of before I stay in the hotels, I look at a lot of the reviews. And I remember there was one review where someone left about a negative review on the hotel because I guess they had stopped the toilet up and they called the front desk to bring them a plunger. And when they brought them the plunger, they just kind of knocked on the door and set it on the floor in front of the door. And the person was mad, gave them a negative review because they didn't bring the plunger in and plunge the toilet. I'm like, who's plunging the toilet for you? Like, I got you a plunger, but I'm not plunging your toilet. So I thought that was kind of funny as a review to leave because they didn't plunge the toilet for that person, which that's actually a new joke that I was going to kind of work on my next album that I'm working on. But anyways, that is the breakdown of Starting My Own Petition. There's a little more to that joke as well. Like I said, these are only snippets that I'm playing of tracks. So hopefully you go back and you listen to that full track as well. And we're going to keep this going. The last track that I'm going to play on episode 3 is track number 29, which is called Last Day Job. So I'm going to play a snippet of that track and then I'll come back and do a quick breakdown of Last Day Job. So here we go. Last Day Job.
Last day job I had, I worked at a senior living community. It was here in Eau Claire. And I was a dishwasher. Most of the residents at this place were Caucasian women between the ages of 70 and 85. And you know what their favorite time of the year was? Thanksgiving. Oh, they love the dark meat. Oh, especially with me working. Oh.
All right, that is track number 29, Last Day Job. That joke, that kind of comes from a true place. I did work at a senior living community back in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, and I was a dishwasher. And when you're a dishwasher, especially at one of those places, you're the ones that are really connecting with the people because, I'm the one that's getting all their dishes. I'm hearing them talk about the food. But their favorite time definitely was Thanksgiving. I mean, and they would tear up the dark meat. They love the dark meat. And there was one lady though, she kind of was giving me that eye, like, yeah, like young man, you lucky if I can go back 50 years, young man, the things I would do to you. I'm looking at her like, oh yeah, lady. And her teeth were moving around. And actually, if you listen to the full joke, I kind of talk about that a little bit. It's not a long joke, but if you listen to it, I do talk about that. And I also bring back Murder, She Wrote in that joke as well, which is a callback. But that joke comes from a little bit of a true place. And then obviously I exaggerated things a little bit on that joke. So that is all tracks I'm going to play for you guys on episode 3. And actually, the next time I come back, I'll be breaking down the last track on my album, which is Dark Highways, which will be episode 4. And that'll be the last episode of this podcast. But I appreciate you guys listening to Calling It All Back to episode 3. Hope you guys enjoy it. And like I said, until I'll be back with the final episode 4. Until then, keep supporting me because I really need it and I appreciate it. And I am out. Peace.